First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways, preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother, the Wild Bar from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And as you see on my phone screen here, I got integrated preparedness. And like I said, I listen to this guy, Steve Smith, a lot. Sometimes he brings out information. Sometimes he just says things that's just good for a lesson. And in today's particular case, he said something that's good for a lesson. But it was information that he actually got from a so-called colleague of his or a buddy of his that he used to work with, who happens to be a so-called black man. And they were talking about race wars. And he said a few things that were interesting here. I advise all the brothers to look at this video and look at the whole thing. It actually is, actually just good information in general and just good, just good knowledge if you get what I'm saying. But as you see, the title of his video is "A Race War is Coming, or Is It Already Here?" And there was something that he stood up and said that the brother said that caught his attention. And and I'm saying, and hey, you know what? I actually have some. I'm gonna let him go ahead and speak. I'm not gonna speak up on it, but I'm gonna let him play. But before I do that, man, let me get one scripture. This is he hits on a lot of things. He hits on that Rodney Hinton, the guy that ended up killing that deputy because his son got killed the day before. So I'm gonna sit up here and grab the scripture. And there's other things out there that he does talk about. But with that, I'm gonna grab the scripture real quick. It's Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art going up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as a old lion, who shall rise him up? So, and that's what's happening in this time right now. The so-called black people are getting tired, man. Tired of the bullshit that's going on with these cops, with these racist ass motherfucking KKK members and all these other motherfuckers, man. These niggas just getting tired, and they taking matters into their own hand. And this not the first thing that didn't happen. There's been other cases, they just haven't been put fully in the news. But Jake has been doing a whole bunch of shit, and the guy is going to make a point. He said it's not going to be about riots, but I'm gonna let him speak. But hey, Jake is getting roused up, man. Hey, first we was in that slumber where we wasn't doing too much, man. We was accepting, you know what I'm trying to say. Our people was just accepting what was ever handed it to them. But now, they getting roused up. So with that, man, let me sit up here and let him go and play real quick. I'm going to play about a little over 2 minutes of it. But I advise, brothers, if you get a chance to, look at the whole video. Here you go.
So when he called me yesterday, I called him back. And he had sent me, he says, did you hear about this guy who killed the deputy, ran into the deputy because they sent him to go back the day before? I said, yeah, we're talking about that. And he says, I think you're going to see a lot more of this. If you're not familiar with that case, a guy was killed by police. You can find it on, I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube. Probably the Hodge twins and probably Officer Tatum, Random Tatum. I suggest you watch both of those channels to see what's going on with this racial hatred building up. So a guy gets killed by police. The next day, his father runs into a deputy who is at a car stop or something a long time ago, runs into him and kills him. Obviously in retaliation for his son being killed. Okay? So that's the situation. And so my buddy said, you hear about that? And I said, yeah, Kelly and I were there. He said, man, it's coming. There's more coming. I said, well, Kelly and I were talking about that. We think that this might be another, summer of love, another, BLM, of course, is kind of faded away, but there are other hate groups coming up. And we kind of see potential of another George Floyd summer. He said, I don't think it's going to be. I think you're going to see people taking this, not to the streets, not riots. And I see his point there, because riots, now that Trump's in, they're not going to let people flood cities. the police are going to be set free and take care of this crap. Sadly, so many of the good police have already left. He says, no, I think it's going to be, people are seeing this as a personal thing, and they're going to take personal vengeance on it. You're going to see more of these individual killings of people that they perceive to be, and whether they perceive them to be a fault or whether they just want to make a statement. I think you're going to see a lot more of these killings than we see.
So I'm gonna end it right there. So y'all kind of heard what the guy said. That he said is he don't think it's gonna be where you're gonna have a big riots here and there in the streets, which that's gonna be a big part of it. But he stood up here and said that he believes that it's gonna be vengeance, a lot of vengeance, and he said pretty much on both sides. That's what it's gonna be, and then it's gonna probably turn into something big. And therein lies where he was sitting up and talking about. And as you see, like I said before, Jake is getting roused up, man. These niggas, these 2/3 niggas getting roused up, So with that, man, before I sit up here and get in, I'm going to grab this scripture right here because I had this scripture here in my mind too. Because when you sit up here and think about Jacob's trouble, what is that, Jeremiah? When you sit up here and think about Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah chapter 30. And it says, this is Jeremiah 30:6. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And that's going to be that time, man. It's going to be grief, motherfucker, great sorrow. Motherfuckers going to be afraid. Great tribulation. Motherfuckers going to be so afraid, man. That paleness, man. That fear going to set in. And that's going to be that time. But what it says, at last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. How you doing? But he shall be saved up out of it. And that saved up out of it is going to be that remnant, the elect. But it says even the time of Jacob's trouble. He said those faces are going to be paleness. You're going to see a lot of men with their hands on their loin. It's going to be a time of great sorrow, great pain, great tribulation. And it ain't just going to be for Jake. See, that's the thing. Jake gonna be causing the terror to everybody else, but a lot of Jake gonna suffer and get fucked up. But Jake gonna do a lot of killing and a lot of fucking up too, and that's the thing. So when that Jacob trouble come, man, it ain't just for Jake. Jake gonna be the main, how can I say, gonna be the main person that's gonna get dealt that get fucked up in that time. But Jake gonna do a lot of fucking up himself, and you see those times coming, Now, there was a scripture I want to get. I want to sit up here and get this. So, what it says, Judah is going to be a terror. And I couldn't think of the scripture. So, give me a second, brothers. Judah going to be a terror. Oh, it was Isaiah 19. Let me go to Isaiah 19 real quick. This is Isaiah 19. Yeah, you know what? I'll start at 14. This is Isaiah 19 and 14. The Lord had me go a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. And everything that these white motherfuckers do, these so-called white motherfuckers do, everything is a disaster. Every plan that they have falls through, fails, get fucks up. Everything that they doing is fucking over their whole economy, fucking over their whole society. So no matter what they do, no matter how they do it, they getting fucked up on all sides. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or the tail, branch or rush may do. And you seeing that too. A lot of truck drivers, a lot of UPS workers, a lot of these warehouses are closing. You see a lot of these corporations shutting down. A lot of these CEOs are quitting and leaving. Work is getting scarce. And before you know it, man, you're going to see, and then that's when that hell is going to break loose. But here's the point. In that day shall Egypt be like unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shake it over. And there's going to be a lot of pain, man, because no work, everything being fucked up, no matter what decisions these motherfuckers make, none of it comes to naught. Everything is fucked up. Everything gets messed up. Their plans go into shit. And guess what? A lot of people is going to be fear on every side. But here's the point that I want to make. It was in 17. In the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that making mention thereof shall be afraid in him, shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he had determined against it. And there you go. Yahweh is going to be a total nightmare to a lot of these motherfuckers, man, to every nation, to these heathens. And you see that right now, man. That Jake Rodney Hinton, he got pissed off, man. They said he looked at that video and was so angry. When I listened to when I read what was said, and he's not the only one, but when I read what they were saying, what his sister or somebody was saying about him, they said they could see it in his face. They said they seen the rage in his face, and they drove him home. But he went back to pick up his own car, and then guess what? Hey, he caught him snoozing, and guess what? He took him out. But Jake is gonna get tired and do a lot of that, man. A lot of that is coming. And what did that guy say? Steve Smith saying integrative preparedness, when he was talking about the guy that he was talking to, one of his friends. He said, man, there's going to be a lot of venge destruction going on. I don't want to use certain words, and I know I done said some things, but he said the unaliving is going to be out of vengeance. Some just going to be out of straight opportunity. Some just going to get it just because they're the ones that's there. And that's going to go for both sides, man. But you see, Yahweh, man, Judah's getting arose, man. Judah getting tired of the bullshit. But what did the Lord say, man, for us, man? See, 2/3 how people going to do the carnal way, man. We think spiritually. What did the Lord say? And I'm going to end it there. I think it's in Zechariah. It might be Zephaniah 3. Yeah, I think it's Zephaniah 3. It says, what is that? Yeah, here it is, Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And that fire going to be that nuclear missiles, man. And then that chariot fire. But he said, wait till I rise up to the prey. See, Jake out here getting vengeance on his own. And the Lord said, hey, no. You supposed to wait till I rise up. He said, vengeance is mine. And Jake fucking up. But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And with that going the way it's going, that's going to kick shit off, man. And we can't wait, because that's what we're waiting on. Because then, guess what? This Zephaniah 3 and 8. The Lord said, wait till I rise up, because when he rise up, man, hopefully we're going to get those spiritual powers, and that's going to be it. The nuclear fire going to be coming, and we know the kingdom is right there. The moment the Lord break those clouds, man, the moment Yahweh Shai break those clouds, it's going to be over. So yeah, I just want to sit up here and say something a little bit on and I know brothers have been sitting up here having videos a lot on that Rodney Hinton dude, but I was just sitting up here listening to him, and once he made that statement, and once he said the things he said, I was like, you know what? I couldn't help it but to do a video myself. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. It's how you taste to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other, because we almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and Abba Ball and Anyah Habatham Malakiam. Shalom.